Hello everyone! Did you know that a large part of Kim Kardashian's rise to fame was thanks to her friendship with Paris Hilton? She was his wardrobe assistant. Okay people, get ready to enjoy 400 curious facts like this one that will definitely surprise you in 1 hour. During World War II, Germany had a secret project called Operation Bernhard, which involved counterfeiting British pound sterling to weaken the UK economy. The highest inhabited point in the world is the Rinconada, located in Peru, at an altitude of approximately 16,732 feet above sea level. In Italy, the Palio di Siena is a famous horse race held twice a year in Siena's Piazza del Campo and has deep historical and cultural roots in the city. The supersonic Concorde airliner, operated between 1976 and 2003, was capable of flying at speeds of 1,354 miles per hour, reducing the flight time between London and New York to less than 3 hours. The New York Stock Exchange has its own ceremonial bell, which is rung to mark the start and close of trading sessions. In Antarctica, a type of vehicle called the Bandvan 206 is used to move over snow and ice. It has tracks instead of wheels, and can carry heavy loads in extreme conditions. The Bay of Fundy in Canada has the highest tides in the world, with a difference of up to 52 feet between high and low tide. The Code of Hammurabi, created around 1754 BC in Mesopotamia, is one of the oldest known sets of written laws, setting out rules and punishments for various situations. Switzerland is home to the world's longest railway tunnel, the Gotthard Base Tunnel, which is 35.5 miles long and connects the north and south of the country through the Alps. The Super Bowl is the most watched sporting event in the United States. The blue-ringed octopus is a small species of poisonous octopus. Although beautiful, its venom is one of the most potent and dangerous to humans. The Gates of Hell in Turkmenistan is a natural gas crater that has been burning since 1971 due to a drilling accident. The best-selling book of all time is the Bible, with billions of copies sold and translated into hundreds of languages and dialects. Zebras have unique stripes, similar to human fingerprints. No two zebras have the same stripe pattern. Vincent van Gogh's famous painting, The Starry Night, depicts the night sky above the sanatorium in Saint-Rémy-de-Provence, France, where the artist was an inmate in 1889. Badminton is the fastest racket sport in the world, with shuttlecock speeds exceeding 186 miles per hour. The first photograph of a person was taken in 1838 by Louis Daguerre. It shows a view of Paris where a street cleaner stood still long enough to appear in the photo. The oldest verified person in history was Jean Calment, who lived to be 122 years old. Kabuki theater is a traditional form of Japanese theater known for its elaborate makeup, costumes, and dramatic gestures. In 1954, Roger Bannister became the first person to run a mile in under 4 minutes, an achievement that was considered impossible at the time. The largest instrument in the string family is the bajo sexto guitar, used primarily in Mexican and Tejano folk music. The walking fish is able to walk on solid ground using its modified fins and can breathe air for short periods of time. Mount Roraima is a tabletop-shaped mountain and one of the oldest on the planet, with a flat top that looks like an otherworldly landscape. The margherita pizza was invented in Naples in honor of Queen Margherita of Savoy. The colors of the pizza, red, white, and green, represent the colors of the Italian flag. The first emoji was created in 1999 in Japan by Shigetaka Kurita. Olympus Mons on Mars is the highest volcano in the solar system, standing at approximately 140 miles in height, more than twice the height of Mount Everest. The saltwater crocodile is the world's largest reptile, reaching lengths of up to 23 feet and weighing up to 2,200 pounds. The longest film ever made is Logistics by directors Erica Magnuson and Daniel Anderson. It lasts 51,420 minutes, approximately 857 hours, or 35 days and 17 hours, off the coast of Vadhu, Maldives. A natural phenomenon known as bioluminescence occurs, where marine plankton produce a bright blue light that makes the water appear to be filled with stars. The cliffs of Moher, located on the west coast of Ireland, are impressive cliffs that reach heights of up to 702 feet above the Atlantic Ocean and are a very popular tourist attraction. The southernmost town in the world is Puerto Williams in Chile, located on Navarino Island at the southern tip of South America. Some species of fish, such as the clownfish, can change gender during their lifetime depending on the social structure of the group. During World War II, the British developed a secret plan called Operation Mincemeat, where they used the body of a deceased homeless man to mislead the Germans about the Allied landing in Sicily. The female praying mantis often devours the male during or after mating, as she needs extra nutrients to produce eggs. The golden silk spider produces a web that is as strong as steel, but lighter and more elastic. The first commercially successful video game was Pong, released in 1972 by Atari. It was a simple but revolutionary table tennis game at the time. The emperor penguin is the bird that can stay submerged underwater the longest, reaching up to 18 minutes at depths of up to 550 meters. The oldest surviving printed book is The Diamond Sutra, a Buddhist text printed in China around 868 AD. In some countries, such as Japan, the Hanami Festival is celebrated, where people gather to contemplate the beauty of cherry blossoms. The porcupine has up to 30,000 quills on its body and can use them as a defense mechanism against predators. The name Saudi Arabia comes from the Saud royal family, which unified the country in the 20th century. The bald eagle, the national symbol of the United States, can fly at altitudes of up to 10,000 feet and spot prey from that height. The hermit crab has no shell of its own and uses empty snail shells to protect its soft abdomen. The oldest known fish is the coelacanth, which was thought to have been extinct for 66 million years until it was discovered in 1938. The Milky Way, our galaxy, contains between 100 billion and 400 billion stars. Golden poison dart frogs, found in the Amazon rainforest, produce venom potent enough to paralyze a human with just a touch. The slow loris is the only known venomous primate, capable of producing a toxin in its brachial glands to defend itself from predators. In Italy, there is a free wine fountain located in the Abruzzo region, where visitors can pour themselves red wine directly from a tap installed in a public fountain. In Japan, the island of Tashirojima is known as the Island of Cats, as it has more cats than human inhabitants. Mesa, located in the southwestern United States, is a small town built by the Anasazi, who constructed complex adobe cities in cliffs and canyons, such as the ruins of Chaco Canyon. Jupiter, the largest planet in the solar system, has a huge storm called the Great Red Spot, which has been active for at least 400 years. In Japan, there is a ceremony called kintsugi, where ceramic objects are repaired with gold, silver, or platinum dust. This technique highlights the scars as part of the object's history rather than hiding them. In India, there is a temple dedicated to rats called Karni Mata, located in the state of Rajasthan. Rats are believed to be reincarnations of deceased people from the temple and are revered as sacred. The McDonald's in Pushkin Square, Moscow, was the first fast food restaurant to open in the Soviet Union in 1990. The Akashi Kaikyo Bridge in Japan is the longest in the world, with a main span length of 6,532 feet. It was completed in 1998 and is known for its resistance to earthquakes and strong winds, important features given the seismic activity in the region. The Roman Emperor Caligula once appointed his horse, Incitatus, as consul, one of the highest positions in the Roman political hierarchy. Water is the only compound on Earth that occurs naturally in all three states: solid, liquid, and gas. In Singapore, it is illegal to chew gum except for medicinal purposes. This measure was taken to keep the streets clean after chewing gum was responsible for damage to the public transport system in the 1990s. The traditional Japanese sport of sumo wrestling has a history dating back more than 1,500 years and is filled with rituals and ceremonies before and after matches. The first manned flight across the English Channel in an airplane occurred in 1909 1809 by French aviator Louis Blériot. The giant tortoises of the Galapagos Islands can live for over 100 years and are known for their longevity and unique adaptations to the island environment. The bullet ant has the most painful sting of all ant species, which is why it is also known as the 24-hour ant. Son Doong Cave in Vietnam is the largest cave in the world at 3.1 miles in length. In Japan, there is a type of sushi called fugu, which is made from pufferfish and can only be safely prepared for human consumption by highly trained and licensed chefs. Mount Thor in Canada has the largest vertical drop in the world, with a height of approximately 4,101 feet from its peak to the base. The Isle of Man hosts the Isle of Man TT, one of the most dangerous and fastest motorcycle races in the world. The Titan Arum, also known as the corpse flower, can reach heights of up to 10 feet and is famous for its rotting flesh-like smell that attracts pollinating insects. Buddhist monk Hoa Thung Than of Vietnam set a world record for continuous meditation of 123 days in 2008. The Kingdom of Bhutan is the only country in the world that measures its national success in terms of gross national happiness rather than gross domestic product. Lake Titicaca, located on the border between Peru and Bolivia, is the highest navigable lake in the world, situated at an altitude of approximately 12,507 feet. Neuschwanstein Castle in Germany is known for its romantic architecture and was the inspiration for Disney's Sleeping Beauty Castle. Snakes do not have eyelids and cannot blink. During World War II, the Japanese launched balloons with incendiary bombs towards the west coast of the United States in an attempt to cause damage and panic. Ants can carry up to 50 times their own body weight, and some species are able to float on water by forming rafts with their bodies. In Russia, there is an island called Zia Franca-Yifa in the Arctic that is so far north, it is one of the coldest and most remote places inhabited by humans. It is only populated by scientists and military personnel. In Spain, the Tomatina is held every year in the town of Buñol, where participants throw tomatoes at each other in a massive food fight. This tradition began in the 1940s and is now a very popular tourist event. The Jackson chameleon, native to East Africa, has crests on its body that change color depending on its emotional state and the environment. The Fallas Festival in Valencia, Spain, is a colorful celebration that includes the building and burning of papier-mâché monuments called fallas, accompanied by parades and fireworks displays. The footprints left by astronaut Neil Armstrong on the moon will not disappear due to the lack of wind and water on the lunar surface. Composer Johann Sebastian Bach had 20 children with his 2 wives. Of these, several became prominent musicians in their time, continuing the musical legacy of the Bach family. The oldest known musical instrument is a flute carved from bird bone, discovered in a cave in Germany and dating back approximately 35,000 years. Humans have a total of 206 bones in their body as adults. When they are born, they have about 270 bones, but some fuse together as they grow. The largest flower in the world is the Rafflesia arnoldi, native to Sumatra and Borneo, which can reach a diameter of up to 3.3 feet and weigh around 24 pounds. Koalas do not drink water directly. They get most of their hydration from the eucalyptus leaves they consume. The pufferfish is known for inflating itself into a near-perfect ball when it feels threatened. This makes it appear larger and less appetizing to predators. Bats are the only mammals capable of flight. They do so using their hands and arms, which are modified into wings. The furthest point on the Earth's surface from the center of the Earth is at Mount Chimborazo in Ecuador, not Mount Everest, due to the Earth's ellipsoidal shape. The first digital photograph was taken in 1957 by Russell Kirsch at the Argonne National Laboratory and showed the image of his son. In some African cultures, such as the Himba people in Namibia, women use a mixture of animal fat and red ochre to protect their skin from the sun and insect bites. Mount Rushmore in the United States, known for its sculptures of American presidents, was sculpted between 1927 and 1941 by Gutzon Borglum and his son Lincoln. The baobab tree, native to Africa and Australia, has thick trunks that can store water to survive in arid and extreme climates. Clownfish and sea anemones have a symbiotic relationship where the clownfish protects the anemone from predators, and the anemone provides shelter and protection to the fish. The hummingbird is the only bird that can fly backwards thanks to its ability to flap its wings in a unique flight pattern. The Glastonbury Festival in the UK is one of the largest music festivals in the world, attracting thousands of attendees each year since its inception in 1970. The first video uploaded to YouTube was titled "Me at the Zoo" and shows one of YouTube's co-founders, Jawed Karim, in a zoo. On average, a person spends around 6 months of their life waiting at traffic lights. Google's original name was Backrub before being changed to its current form. The panda bear, despite being a carnivore, feeds primarily on bamboo. The mantis shrimp has the fastest punch in the animal kingdom, capable of striking with the speed of a rifle bullet. In Scotland, there is a lake called Loch Ness, famous for reported sightings of the mythical Loch Ness monster. The goldfish can live up to 20 years or more in ideal conditions and has a memory that can last for several months. A hummingbird's heart can beat up to 1,260 times per minute. The oldest known Egyptian artifact, the Narmer Palette, dates back to 3100 BC. The Non-Aggression Pact, signed between the Soviet Union and Nazi Germany in 1939, known as the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, divided Eastern Europe into Nazi and Soviet spheres of influence. Squirrels can find up to 80% of the nuts they bury using their excellent spatial and olfactory memory. In Bolivia, the Salar de Uyuni is the largest salt flat in the world, and due to its expanse and smoothness, it is used to calibrate satellites. Admiral Horatio Nelson, after his death at the Battle of Trafalgar, was transported back to England in a barrel full of brandy to preserve his body. Zebras are white with black stripes, not black with white stripes. This can be determined by the coloration of the skin under the fur. The ancient Mayan city of Tikal in Guatemala reached its peak in the Classic period between 200 and 900 AD, and was one of the largest and most powerful urban centers of the Mayan civilization. In Japan, it is common to give money in special envelopes called red envelopes, or otoshidama, during the new year. The first commercial airplane flight occurred on January 1, 1914, between St. Petersburg and Tampa, Florida, covering a distance of 21 miles in 23 minutes. Elephants have the longest pregnancy of all land mammals, lasting approximately 22 months. In Italy, there is a tradition of throwing coins into the Trevi Fountain in Rome, believing this will ensure a return to the city. The heaviest insect in the world is the Hercules beetle, which can weigh up to 4.8 ounces and measure up to 6.7 inches in length. In China, the Dragon Boat Festival, known as Duanwu, is celebrated with decorated boat races and the traditional zongzi food in honor of the poet Ku Yuan. The Halabos forest in Belgium turns into a spectacle of purple flowers every spring due to the massive blooming of bluebells. The first tweet in Twitter history was sent by Jack Dorsey, one of the creators of Twitter, on March 21, 2006, which read, "Just setting up my Twabotitar." The red kangaroo is Australia's largest land mammal and is known for its ability to jump long distances at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. The BMW car company's logo is inspired by the flag of Bavaria, the state in which the company was founded. The white-tailed deer can jump up to 10 feet high and 30 feet long in a single leap. In Japanese culture, the art of bonsai refers to growing trees in small pots to create miniaturized representations of nature. The first color film was released in 1935 and was called Becky Sharp, which tells the story of Becky Sharp, an ambitious woman seeking to climb the ladder of 19th century British society. The largest known egg belongs to the extinct bird Epiornis, also known as the elephant bird, and could weigh up to 26 pounds. The Kumbhalgarh Wall in India is the second longest wall in the world after the Great Wall of China, with a length of approximately 22.4 miles. The human brain is more active at night than during the day. Pharaoh Tutankhamun was only 9 years old when he became pharaoh of Egypt and died at the age of 18. The spotted hyena has the strongest bite among carnivorous mammals, surpassing even lions and tigers. In Japan, it is customary to give square watermelons as gifts because they are easier to pack in boxes. In outer space, there is no sound because there is no air to carry sound vibrations. In some Scandinavian countries, such as Finland and Sweden, it is common to let babies sleep outside, even in winter, to get used to the climate. In Scotland, there are more than 3,000 castles, some of which date back more than 1,000 years, with the best known being Edinburgh Castle, which stands on the rocky hill of Castle Rock and offers panoramic views of the city. Banana plants are giant herbs, not trees, as they lack a woody trunk. India has the largest vegetarian population in the world, with about 30% of the population being vegetarian. South Korea has the fastest internet connection in the world, with an average download speed of about 26.1 megabits per second. In Japan, it is common for trains to be so punctual that even a delay of just 1 minute is considered unusual and worthy of an apology. The stonefish is one of the most poisonous fish in the world, with dorsal spines containing highly toxic venom. In Bolivia, there is a train graveyard near Uyuni where old trains and locomotives are found abandoned in the middle of the desert. In Scotland, World Haggis Day is celebrated every year on January 25th, where the traditional Scottish dish made from sheep's offal is celebrated. In Switzerland, it is illegal to own just one rabbit, as they are social animals and are thought to be lonely without company. The world's highest waterfall is Angel Falls in Venezuela, with a free fall of 3,212 feet. On the island of Java, Indonesia, there is a mountain called Mount Bromo that has an active crater that constantly emits smoke. Mount Everest is not the highest mountain in the world when measured from base to summit. That title is held by Mount Mauna Kea in Hawaii, if measured from its underwater base. In some parts of India, cows are sacred and protected by law. They are considered a symbol of purity and abundance. In South Korea, there is an annual festival called the Boryong Mud Festival, where people immerse themselves in sea mud to celebrate the therapeutic benefits of sea mud. In Greece, the ancient theater of Epidaurus is famous for its excellent acoustics, allowing actors to be heard clearly by spectators even without microphones. Ostriches can run at speeds of up to 43 miles per hour and are the largest birds in the world. Canada has more lakes than the rest of the world combined, with over 3 million lakes. Russia has the longest railway line in the world, known as the Trans-Siberian Railway, which connects Moscow to Vladivostok in the Russian Far East. Russia is the country with the most time zones in the world, with a total of 11 different time zones. Goats are excellent climbers and can scale trees and rocky terrain with ease. The first known coin was created in Lydia, in present-day Turkey, around 600 BC. Dragonflies have 6 legs but cannot walk. In India, the Ganges River is considered sacred, and millions of Hindus regard it as a living deity. The narwhal, known as the unicorn of the sea, is a type of whale with a long, twisted tusk that can measure up to 10 feet in length in males. The Choluteca helicoidal bridge in Honduras has a unique spiral-shaped structure that makes it resistant to hurricanes and earthquakes. The Montezuma oropendola is a Central American bird that builds pouch-shaped nests hanging from tree branches. The Amazon pink dolphin is the world's largest river dolphin and inhabits the Amazon and Orinoco basins. It is distinguished by its pink color and unique head structure. The Carrick Red suspension bridge in Northern Ireland links the mainland to a small island and spans deep blue waters. It is famous for the stunning views and the thrilling experience of crossing it. Kiyomizu-dera Temple in Japan is a Buddhist temple famous for its main platform that extends over a cliff and offers stunning views of the city. In addition, the temple is also known for its nail-free wooden pillars and traditional architecture. The city of Istanbul in Turkey is the only city in the world that is located on 2 continents, Europe and Asia. In Japan, addresses are not based on street names, but on blocks and plots numbered in chronological order due to the lack of a conventional addressing system. The term bug, to describe an error in a computer program, originated when a real insect, a moth, was caught in a relay in the Mark I computer in 1947. During World War II, War Y, a spontaneous Christmas truce took place between enemy trenches in 1914, where soldiers from both sides sang Christmas carols and played football together, with the Germans and their allies winning 3-2. Vatican City is the smallest country in the world in terms of area and population. In some Scandinavian countries, such as Sweden and Finland, there is fika, a tradition of taking regular breaks to enjoy coffee and pastries with friends and family. The island of Borneo is divided between 3 countries: Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei. The Kalimantan part of the island is Indonesian and comprises 80% of the island, while the other 20% belongs to Brunei and Malaysia. The famous physicist Albert Einstein was offered the position of President of Israel in 1952, but turned it down. The Roman Empire once had more than 90 million inhabitants and stretched from Britain to North Africa and the Middle East. In Scotland, there is an annual competition called the Highland Games that includes log throwing, hammer throwing, and other tests of strength and skill. During the Cold War, NASA spent millions of dollars developing a pen that could write in zero gravity, while Russian cosmonauts simply used pencils. In 2006, Google acquired YouTube for $1.65 billion. At the time, YouTube was only 18 months old. The shortest war in history was between the British Empire and Zanzibar on August 27, 1896. It lasted just 38 minutes. Some of the oldest bridges still in use include the Roman Bridge of Alcantara in Spain, built in 104 AD, and the Jiaozhou Bridge in China, which dates back to the 7th century. These bridges are stunning examples of ancient engineering. The Navajo are the second largest indigenous group in the United States. They are known for their textile art, such as Navajo weavings and blankets, which are highly valued for their quality and beauty. Dragonflies have some of the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, taking up most of their heads and providing them with exceptional vision. The Galapagos Islands, an archipelago located in Ecuador, is famous for its unique biodiversity and for being the place where Charles Darwin developed his theory of evolution by natural selection. NASA's Perseverance rover, launched in 2020, is the latest robotic vehicle sent to Mars as part of the Mars 2020 mission to explore the red planet for signs of past and present life. The CN Tower in Toronto, Canada, was the tallest structure in the world at the time of its completion in 1976, standing at 1,800 feet tall. The Parthenon, located on the Acropolis in Athens, Greece, is one of the most famous temples of the ancient world and was built to honor the goddess Athena, the city's patron saint. The world's fastest magnetic levitation train, known as maglev, is located in Japan and can reach speeds of over 310 miles per hour using electromagnetic levitation. The Venice Carnival in Italy is famous for its elaborate masks and tradition of elegant costumes. The platypus has unique features such as a duck-like beak, a beaver-like tail, and the ability to detect electric fields with its beak. In India, the celebration of Diwali, the Festival of Lights, marks the victory of good over evil and the renewal of inner light. The Boston Marathon is one of the oldest and most prestigious marathon races in the world, held annually since 1897. The Nazca lines in Peru are giant geoglyphs that stretch across the desert and are only visible from the air. In northern Sweden, there is a seed bank known as the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, located on a remote mountain and designed to store backups of crop seeds from around the world in case of natural disasters or conflict. On Jeju Island in South Korea, there are statues of Dol Haryubang, which are standing stone figures believed to protect the island from evil spirits and bring good luck. The toadfish is known for its extremely ugly appearance and ability to camouflage itself on the seabed. The polar bear is the largest land predator and is adapted to living in the cold Arctic landscapes. The eye of the giant squid is one of the largest in the animal kingdom, reaching up to 30 centimeters in diameter. Salvador Dali's painting, The Persistence of Memory, painted in 1931, is famous for its melting clocks, which symbolize the relativity of time and reality according to surrealism. The oarfish is known to be one of the longest bony fish in the world, reaching lengths of up to 36 feet. The Zone of Silence in Mexico is a desert area known for interference in radio waves and unexplained magnetic phenomena. The Sapporo Snow Festival in Japan is famous for its huge and detailed snow and ice sculptures, and attracts competing artists from around the world. The Forbidden City in Beijing, China, is the world's largest and best-preserved imperial palace. It was the residence of Chinese emperors for nearly 500 years. The bird of paradise, native to Papua New Guinea, is known for its brilliant plumage and elaborate courtship dances. The Great Blue Hole in Belize is a circular underwater sinkhole, approximately 984 feet in diameter and 407 feet deep. The Nile River is the longest river in the world, with a length of approximately 4,130 miles. It has been instrumental in the development of Egyptian civilization. Flamenco dance, originally from Andalusia, Spain, combines passion, rhythm, and body expression. It has been recognized as an intangible cultural heritage of humanity by UNESCO. Kangaroos are the only large animals that hop as their primary method of locomotion. Dean's Blue Hole is an underwater sinkhole located in the Bahamas. It has a depth of over 663 feet and is the deepest known blue hole in the world. The Flag Monument is the tallest monument in Mexico and is located in the city of Monterrey. It stands 230 feet high and is situated in the Macro Plaza, one of the largest public squares in the world. The first gasoline-powered automobile was created by Carl Benz in 1885 and was known as the Benz patent motor wagon. The first computer mouse was invented by Douglas Engelbart in 1964. It was called a mouse because of its tail-like shape and cable, and was originally made of wood. The world record for the most hot dogs eaten in a contest in 10 minutes is held by Joey Chestnut with 62 hot dogs. The first domain registered on the internet was symbolics.com on March 15, 1985. The kiwi, the national bird of New Zealand, is a nocturnal bird that cannot fly. The ENIAC computer, built in 1945, was so large that it occupied 1,800 square feet of space and weighed about 60,000 pounds. Flamingos are born white, and their pink pigmentation comes from carotenoids present in the food they eat. The name Bluetooth comes from Harald Bluetooth, a Viking king of Denmark. His English translated name is Bluetooth, and the standard was named after him due to its ability to unite people, similar to how the king united Danish tribes. Human DNA is about 99.9% similar across all people, and only 0.1% of genetic differences make each individual unique. The Mozilla Firefox web browser got its name from the red panda, which was named for its reddish color and resemblance to foxes. In Australia, there is a road called the Dingo Fence that stretches for over 3,480 miles, making it the longest fence in the world. Its purpose is to protect the country's inland livestock from wild dingoes. In Africa's Namib Desert, some dunes can reach heights of up to 984 feet, making them among the highest in the world. The okapi, native to the Democratic Republic of the Congo, is the giraffe's closest living relative, even though it looks more like a zebra due to its striped legs. In Iceland, there is a dating app called Íslendinga app that helps Icelanders avoid incestuous relationships by checking if they share distant ancestors. The bulldog ant has the strongest jaws of any animal relative to its size and can generate forces equivalent to more than 500 times its body weight. Newborn pandas are so small that they weigh less than a teacup. The bottlenose dolphin has the ability to sleep with one brain hemisphere at a time, allowing it to stay alert and breathe while resting. The Arc de Triomphe in Paris, built in 1836, honors those who fought and died for France during the Napoleonic Wars. The mimic octopus is known for its ability to imitate the appearance and behavior of other marine animals, such as sea snakes and flatfish, to protect itself from predators. A leech's saliva contains an anticoagulant substance that prevents its victim's blood from clotting while it feeds. The Leaning Tower of Pisa began to tilt shortly after construction started in 1173 due to an unstable foundation on clay soil. The brown bat is known to be the longest-lived mammal in proportion to its size. living up to 41 years. The hen harrier, a bird of prey, is known for its ability to fly long migratory distances, from the Arctic to southern South America. Switzerland is known for its political neutrality and has not been involved in any international military conflict since 1815. The Chinese Tiangong space station, launched in 2021, aims to establish a permanent space base for scientific experiments and Earth observations. Turkey is home to the Derinkuyu Cave, the world's largest underground city, which could house up to 20,000 people along with their livestock and supplies. India produces the most films in the world. Bollywood, the Indian film industry, produces more than 1,000 films per year. The dugong, a sea cow-like animal, is a herbivorous marine mammal found in tropical waters. It primarily feeds on seagrass and can weigh up to 880 pounds. The tuatara is a reptile endemic to New Zealand that is considered a living fossil, as it has changed very little over millions of years. It has a third eye on the top of its head that detects changes in light. The red-billed gull is a species of gull with a bright red beak that helps them recognize each other during the breeding season. The observable universe is approximately 93 billion light-years across. Ants do not have lungs. Instead, they breathe through small holes in their bodies called spiracles. The Great Fire of London in 1666 destroyed most of the city, but also helped stop the spread of the bubonic plague that was ravaging the city at the time. The Battle of Stalingrad during World War II was the bloodiest in history, with more than 2 million dead and wounded. The asteroid that struck Earth approximately 66 million years ago in what is now the Yucatan Peninsula, Mexico, caused the extinction of non-avian dinosaurs. The Android operating system, initially developed by Android Inc., was acquired by Google in 2005 before its public release in 2008. In some European countries such as Spain, the San Fermin festival is celebrated in Pamplona, known for its bull runs. Wolves howl to communicate with other pack members and mark their territory. The Charleston rhythm is a jazz dance that originated in Charleston, South Carolina in the 1920s and was popularized in the United States during the Jazz Age. The world's most active volcano is Kilauea in Hawaii, which has been erupting almost continuously since 1983. The largest city in the world in terms of area is Hulunbuir, located in China. It covers an area of approximately 101,913 square miles, which is larger than many countries. Originally from Guangdong province in China, dim sum is a food served in small portions and traditionally accompanied by tea. The sun accounts for approximately 99.86% of the entire mass of the solar system. The chameleon can move its eyes independently, allowing it to have a 360-degree field of vision around its body. Sharks are immune to diseases such as cancer. In China, the Spring Festival is the most important holiday of the year, marking the start of the new lunar year according to the Chinese calendar. The Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany, is the largest beer festival in the world, celebrated since 1810. In our solar system, the smallest planet is Mercury, which is about the size of the Moon. The axolotl, a species of Mexican salamander, has the ability to regenerate parts of its body, including limbs, organs, and even parts of the brain. In Singapore, there is Jewel Changi Airport, which features the world's tallest indoor waterfall, surrounded by a garden of 5,000 species of plants and trees. The Lantern Festival in Taiwan is a traditional celebration where thousands of paper lanterns are released into the air to wish for good luck and celebrate the Chinese Lunar New Year. Tardigrades, also known as water bears, are extremely resilient microscopic creatures that can survive extreme conditions of temperature, pressure, and radiation. In Turkey, there is a structure known as the Cotton Castle, a series of white terraces and travertines filled with natural thermal pools. Extrasolar planets, or exoplanets, are planets that orbit stars outside our solar system. Death Valley in California, USA, is one of the hottest places on the planet, with temperatures that can reach 56 degrees Celsius in summer. The emperor penguin is the tallest penguin in the world, reaching up to 3.9 feet in height. On the Japanese island of Okinawa, there is a high proportion of centenarians compared to the rest of the world. This has been attributed to their healthy diet, active lifestyle, and strong community ties. Giant wave surfing has records of waves exceeding 80 feet in height. These huge waves are challenged by surfers at places such as Nazaré in Portugal and Jaws in Hawaii. Canada's national sport is ice hockey. The country is famous for its passion and success in this sport, both at professional and amateur levels. The Taj Mahal, one of the most famous monuments in the world, was built by Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife Mumtaz Mahal, who died during childbirth of their 14th child. The Devil's Bridge in France is a Roman bridge built over the Tarn River in southern France, known for its stone arch that seems to defy gravity. Chocolate was so highly valued in Mesoamerican cultures that the Aztecs used cocoa beans as currency. Lightning can strike the same location more than once. Places like the Empire State Building in New York can be hit multiple times during a storm. The world's tallest volcano is Ojos del Salado, on the border between Chile and Argentina, with a height of approximately 22,615 feet above sea level. In the Maori culture of New Zealand, the hongi is a greeting tradition in which two people press their foreheads and noses together. The first email message was sent by Ray Tomlinson in 1971. It consisted of the letters QWERTYUIOP. The bullfrog, native to the southeastern United States, is the largest frog species in North America, reaching lengths of up to 25 centimeters. The saguaro cactus, native to the Sonoran Desert in North America, can live up to 200 years and reach heights of up to 49 feet. Mount Everest, the world's tallest mountain, was first summited by Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay in 1953. The Moscow Kremlin in Russia is a fortified complex that includes palaces, cathedrals, and towers. It has been the political and historical center of Russia for centuries, and is where Vladimir Putin resides. The first book printed in the West using movable type was the Gutenberg Bible. Printed by Johannes Gutenberg in 1455, the Mona Lisa has no visible eyebrows or eyelashes, leading to speculation about whether they were lost over time or deliberately omitted by Leonardo da Vinci. The International Space Station travels at a speed of about 17,400 miles per hour, completing one orbit around Earth every 90 minutes. The chance of a person being struck by lightning at some point in their life is about 1 in 3,000. In Norway, there is a tradition called Utepils, which means beer garden, and refers to the first beer enjoyed outdoors in the spring or summer. The first functional web search engine was called Archie, created in 1990 by Alan M. Tage, a graduate student at McGill University in Montreal. The ancient board game Senet, played in ancient Egypt, is one of the oldest known board games, with boards and pieces dating back more than 5,000 years. In Hawaii, hula is a traditional dance that combines rhythmic gestures with chants and music to tell stories and preserve Hawaiian culture. The African elephant is the largest land animal in the world, reaching heights of up to 13 feet and weighing up to 14,000 pounds. In Japan, there are themed cafes where visitors can interact with owls, cats, rabbits, and even hedgehogs while enjoying their drinks. Chess is the sport played in most countries around the world. The Coober Pedy region in Australia is known as the Underground City, where much of the population lives in underground caves due to the intense desert heat. The San Juan Fire Dance in Spain is a traditional celebration marking the summer solstice with bonfires, music, and dancing in many Spanish communities. Dogs have a sense of smell at least 10,000 times more acute than that of humans. Birds of the genus Apus, such as the common swift, can sleep in flight. Their wings can be locked into position, allowing them to rest for hours while flying. South Africa is the only country in the world to have 3 capitals: Pretoria, administrative capital, Cape Town, legislative capital, and Bloemfontein, judicial capital. In Scotland, the bagpipe is the traditional musical instrument and is used in many cultural and ceremonial celebrations. France is the most visited country in the world, with more than 89 million international tourists each year. Australia has an estimated kangaroo population of more than 50 million exceeding the country's human population. The vampire squid is a deep-sea squid with unique features such as cape-like fins and tentacles with membranes that resemble a vampire's cape. The port of Singapore is one of the busiest and most efficient ports in the world, handling millions of containers each year and is known for its effective maritime traffic control system. The northernmost city in the world is Longyearbyen on the island of Svalbard in Norway, located about 810 miles from the North Pole. In the city of Breda, Netherlands, the Carnival of Princes is held annually, where children symbolically take over the city for 3 days. In Finland, there is a sport called wife-carrying race, where men compete by carrying their wives through an obstacle course. The first successful vaccine in history was developed by Edward Jenner in 1796 for smallpox, using material from cowpox to immunize people. The Pacific island of Nauru was once the richest nation per capita in the world due to its vast phosphate reserves, but it now faces economic challenges as these resources have dwindled. The dragon dance, an integral part of Chinese New Year celebrations, involves a group of people manipulating a cloth dragon to dance through the streets, warding off evil and bringing good luck. The musculature of octopuses is so complex that they can individually control each of their multiple arms. The Temple of Heaven in Beijing, China, was built using advanced engineering techniques that allow for perfect acoustics within the main structure, enabling a person to speak quietly at one point and be heard clearly at another opposite point. Stonehenge in England is a prehistoric monument composed of massive stones arranged in a circle. Leafcutter ant colonies can cut and carry leaves back to their nests, where they use them to cultivate fungus as a food source. The largest plant in the world, in terms of area covered, is the pando, an aspen forest in Utah, USA. Although it appears to be a forest of individual trees, it is actually a single clonal organism connected by underground roots. Chameleons do not change color to blend in with their surroundings, but rather in response to emotions such as fear, anger, or attraction. Elephants are the only mammals that cannot jump due to the structure of their legs and the distribution of their weight. The storage capacity of an average smartphone today is greater than that of the supercomputers used on the Apollo 11 mission that took humans to the moon. In 2006, Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet by the International Astronomical Union due to its size and orbit. Located on the border between Argentina and Brazil, Iguazu Falls is wider than Niagara Falls and is considered one of the most impressive waterfalls in the world due to its beauty and size. The Atacama Desert in Chile is considered the driest non-polar desert in the world. Some parts of this desert have not received rain in over 400 years. Giraffes have tongues up to 50 centimeters long, which are black in color to avoid sunburn while feeding on tree leaves. Neurons in the human brain can send signals at speeds of up to 120 meters per second. In Japan, it is customary to take a relaxing bath in natural hot springs called onsen. Easter Island in Chile is famous for its huge stone statues called moai. Solar eclipses are events in which the moon totally or partially blocks the light of the sun from the earth. Penicillin, the first antibiotic discovered, was found by chance by Alexander Fleming in 1928. The moon has visible craters on its surface due to asteroid and comet impacts over millions of years. Crocodiles can live up to 100 years in the wild. The bombardier beetle has the unique ability to squirt a hot, toxic liquid from its abdomen when it feels threatened. The first texting-capable mobile phone was released in 1993 by IBM and was called the Simon Personal Communicator. Kangaroos cannot jump backwards due to the structure of their legs and the way they swing. Polar bears are left-handed, meaning they prefer to use their left paw to catch prey. Owls can turn their heads up to 270 degrees due to their unique bone structure and the number of vertebrae in their necks. A snail's heart is located just behind its head and can beat up to 1,000 times per minute. The venom of the box jellyfish is one of the most poisonous in the world and can be fatal to humans. Human saliva has antibacterial properties that help protect teeth from infection. The Amazon rainforest is the largest tropical rainforest in the world, covering an area of approximately 2.6 million square miles. The Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, painted by Michelangelo, is famous for its frescoed ceiling, depicting scenes from Genesis and the Last Judgment. Bamboo can grow up to 91 centimeters in a single day. The Statue of Liberty was a gift from France to the United States. Pablo Picasso's Guernica is a powerful depiction of the horrors of the Spanish Civil War and is considered one of the masterpieces of 20th century art. The nearest star to the solar system is Proxima Centauri, which is approximately 4.24 light-years away. Giraffes have the largest heart of any land mammal, weighing around 24 pounds. Torres del Paine National Park, located in Chilean Patagonia, is known for its spectacular granite peaks, glaciers, and deep blue lakes. The Voyager 1 probe, launched in 1977, remains the farthest spacecraft from Earth and continues to transmit data from interstellar space. The military salute in most Western cultures originated as a sign of peace, showing that soldiers were not holding weapons. In Japanese culture, the number 4 is considered unlucky because its pronunciation, shui, is similar to the word for death. The Icelandic language has changed very little since the Viking era, so Icelanders can read ancient texts with relative ease. The island of Tokelau in the South Pacific is one of the few territories in the world that does not have its own currency, and exclusively uses the New Zealand dollar as its official currency. Sunflower plants follow the path of the sun during the day. The Patagonian cypress can live for more than 3,000 years, making it one of the longest-lived trees in the world. Yellowstone National Park in the United States is the world's first national park, having been established in 1872. On average, a person walks about 115,000 miles in their lifetime, which is equivalent to walking around the Earth along the equator about 5 times. The Korean alphabet, called Hangul, was created by King Sejong in the 15th century as part of an effort to increase literacy. Honey doesn't spoil, as jars of honey have been found in Egyptian tombs that were still edible after thousands of years. Dragonflies spend up to 5 years in the larval stage before becoming adults. Humans grow a completely new layer of skin every 28 days. The first commercial jet flight occurred in 1952 with the British de Havilland Comet passenger plane. St. Patrick's Day, celebrated on March 17th, is an Irish holiday that commemorates St. Patrick, the patron saint of Ireland, with parades and green clothing. Tooth enamel is the hardest substance in the human body. In Iceland, about 80% of the energy used comes from geothermal sources due to volcanic activity on the island. The deepest part of the ocean is the Mariana Trench, with a depth of almost 36,089 feet. The Titanic had a library with more than 1,000 books for first-class passengers. Antarctica is the driest, coldest, and windiest continent on Earth. The shortest alphabet in the world is Rotokas, spoken in Papua New Guinea, with only 11 letters. Quasars are active galactic nuclei that emit enormous amounts of energy and are the brightest and most distant objects in the observable universe. Neptune has atmospheric winds that can reach speeds of up to 1,300 miles per hour, the fastest in the solar system. Halley's Comet, one of the most famous comets, visits the inner solar system about every 76 years. In New Zealand, both kiwis, the bird, and New Zealanders who call themselves kiwis are named after the country's native bird rather than the fruit. Italy has the most UNESCO World Heritage Sites in the world, with a total of 58 sites. Gravity on the surface of Jupiter is about 2.5 times stronger than gravity on the surface of Earth. The Canada-US border is the longest border in the world without military patrols. The first electric light bulb lasted 40 hours before burning out, invented by Thomas Edison in 1879. In Japan, vending machines sell an incredible variety of goods, from food to used underwear. The Republic of Venice existed as an economic and political power for over 1,000 years, from the 8th century to 1797. In many Asian countries, such as Japan and South Korea, it is common to take off your shoes when entering a home as a sign of respect and cleanliness. The city of Venice, Italy, is built on an archipelago of 118 small islands connected by more than 400 bridges. Sushi, as we know it today, originated in Japan as a way to preserve fish with fermented rice. The Amazon River is the world's largest river in terms of water volume. The temperature inside a lightning storm can reach 54,032 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 6 times hotter than the surface of the sun. The Tyrannosaurus rex was not the largest dinosaur. That title belongs to the Argentinosaurus, which was around 35 meters long and weighed up to 100 tons. The Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, is one of the new 7 wonders of the modern world. The sun releases more energy in 1 second than humanity has consumed in its entire history. Cockroaches can live up to a week without their head because they do not need their mouth to breathe, as they obtain oxygen through small holes in their body. The world's first commercial computer was the UNIVAC Y, created in 1951. The Titanic cost about $7.5 million to build at the time. The island of Iceland has over 130 active volcanoes due to its location on the tectonic plate boundary. In Thailand and Laos, festivals are held where rockets are launched into the air during planting season to attract rain and ensure a good harvest. The human body has about 37.2 trillion cells, but it has 38 trillion bacteria. The Sahara Desert in Africa is the largest hot desert in the world and is almost as big as the United States. Jupiter's moon Europa has a subsurface ocean beneath its ice shell, making it one of the potentially habitable places within our solar system. The Bermuda Triangle, located between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, is famous for the unexplained disappearance of ships and planes. Groundhog Day in the United States has its roots in the belief that if a groundhog sees its shadow on February 2nd, there will be 6 more weeks of winter. The temperature on Mercury's surface can range from negative 279.4 degrees Fahrenheit at night to 800.6 degrees Fahrenheit during the day. In ancient China, noblewomen painted their teeth black as a sign of beauty and status. Human kidneys filter about 180 liters of blood per day to produce about 1 or 2 liters of urine. The Hungarian language is known to be one of the most difficult languages to learn due to its complex grammar and because it belongs to a unique language family unrelated to any other in Europe. Lake Baikal in Russia is the oldest lake in the world at 26 million years old, with a maximum depth of about 5,381 feet. Giraffes have only 7 vertebrae in their necks, just like humans, but each one is much longer. The Panama Canal is one of the largest engineering feats in history and connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific, saving ships a long journey around South America. The northern lights occur when charged particles from the solar wind collide with gases in the atmosphere, creating spectacular lights in the sky. In Namibia, there is an area known as the Skeleton Coast, where the remains of whales and other marine animals have been fossilized due to the sand and dry climate. The star Betelgeuse is a red supergiant that is in the final stages of its life and will eventually explode as a supernova. Noah's Ark, according to the Bible, was approximately 450 feet long, 75 feet wide, and 45 feet high. Surprisingly large, right? In 1519, Ferdinand Magellan led the first known expedition to circumnavigate the globe. Although Magellan died during the voyage, the expedition was completed under the command of Juan Sebastián Elcano in 1522. NASA's Cassini space probe discovered water geysers on Saturn's moon Enceladus, suggesting the possibility of a subsurface ocean. Leafcutter ants can clear more than 1,100 pounds of leaves per year in their colonies. The Amazon River is so wide at some points that it is impossible to see the other side from the water. The Grand Canyon in Arizona, United States, is more than 6,000 feet deep in some places. The Antikythera mechanism was discovered in a shipwreck near the island of Antikythera in Greece. And this is all Zarpado people. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing Zarpado content.